We have Pi sleeping next to me right here. Say hi, Pi. She's resting while we get everything going. Hi, Lonnie. Just waiting, just trying to see if I could get my business coach to join in here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me see. Well, I guess while I'm waiting on Q to join my business coach, please ask me any questions about crystals or starting a crystal business, just starting a,
Oh,
oh, here you are. Hello.
listen,
Hello,
this is
Q.
crazy. I don't know what was like literally going on. So I want to apologize because my phone, oops, sorry, y'all. My phone was not letting me join. It kept saying that, so this is an Instagram glitch, obviously. It kept
Mm-hmm.
saying you aren't using the app. And I'm like, I'm on the app. So it was just a gray screen. And then when I tried to join you, it just kept saying you can't join. And I'm like, it was weird.
Yeah, so we can
So,
talk about that as far as business goes too. All the
yeah.
glitches and just getting through Instagram and the processes and things like that. It has been challenging, you guys.
It
Oh my
has.
goodness.
It definitely
We
has.
were not, we are not from this generation. We're from the analog to digital generation. And
And
now we have a lot of digital things that we have to do. And you want to get through all the glitches.
it was just tough. So here I am.
Okay, great.
Hi, everybody. Sorry about all of that. We like to be as prepared as we can. And so I'm sitting here getting a pedicure. I was saying that in the last time. I don't know if y'all could hear me or not. But as a
Hey,
mom,
delightful crystals. So sorry. Today I'm not selling crystals on the live. Today we're just having a discussion on business practices. And this is my business coach, Q Rowland, at I am Q Rowland. So she helps me out with all of the business. On the business side of it, she's a great coach and a consultant, and so we're just going to talk to her about that. But we're not selling products today. Thank you.
today. So I'm excited about your new business,
Thank
Mika,
you.
um, because you're just somebody I admire and can respect, but also because you're doing something that you're really passionate about, which is always a great step to starting any new business, as we know. A lot of times we take hobbies and want to create businesses, and that's not always a great idea. However, so that's a huge part of deciding whether or not your hobby is worthy of monetizing into a legitimate business. So that is
Yes.
really proud of you, sir, for stepping out and doing that, because for so long you were doing other things and you decided to take this serious and make it a business. So tell me how you came to decide to make Crystal Me Pink an actual business for you.
An actual business. Yeah. Okay. So the journey started years ago, actually, 9 years ago, pregnant with Adonis, when I started opening up my eyes to law of attraction and the universe and just looking at the resources that we have right here on our planet to help heal myself with what I was going through during that time. And fast forward, just a slow process of a lot of reading and research and things like that. Fast forward, I had my brush with death in December 2020. And after coming out of that situation, I decided that I wanted to take the crystal thing further. And it has been a very slow process because I'm not putting pressure on myself. I'm just slowly getting myself out there. I want to pass the information along. And really, it's more of a passion for me because I know how much focusing in on the law of attraction, chakras, and crystals help me out. So I want to help other people out. And if the money come, the money come. Hopefully, I'm sure the money, the money has already started coming. But
But
yeah,
look,
I would
girl, you
like
have
to
to
be
like
very
look at
successful.
the sale. So
Yeah.
sure you slide her DM with that sale that you want to make today. But one thing I wanted to ask you in terms of like um, starting this business, when you think about your business, how do you feel about staying online versus going into like a brick and mortar or, now people are doing mobile stuff, there's various options of doing your business. What stage are you and where do you plan to go with it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm glad you brought that up because it's something that I was definitely going to talk to you about. So, where I'm at with it now, of course, when I first decided, okay, Crystal Me Pink, I'm going in head first and I want to do a brick and mortar. I'm so excited. I want this pretty place where people could come in and things like that. But then I started realizing that, okay, without actually bringing in money, how do I think that I'm supposed to do this? So right now, I slowed it down a bit and I'm sitting here like, okay, well, let's start online, start by just passing out the information, as much information as I can give, and just having fun with it for now. Brick and mortar, I don't know when that's going to come, but I definitely considered the mobile boutique option, but still not sure as to how
Right.
and when and things like that.
So one of the things that in your consideration of going into a brick and mortar, my advice is always before you decide to go to a brick and mortar, I always advise that you really take a look at what your potential earnings would be monthly. And I think that you should have a positive revenue for at least 6 months to a year. That you actually, when I say positive revenue, I'm not saying, oh, I made $100 extra this month. What I'm talking about is you have enough to cover all your bills plus put some money in your pocket. Otherwise, what are we doing? We're,
Mm-hmm.
to work just to pay bills. But once you have a great, a good solid, online following, and you have been bringing in a solid amount of money that you're comfortable with, that will supersede your brick and mortar expenses and make your life a little bit more comfortable, I wouldn't consider a brick and mortar ever before that. I know a lot of businesses, because I deal with a lot of clients who, this very question, should I go into a brick and mortar? And I'm always like, if I had the option, I would stay online as long as possible. There's no
Mm-hmm.
way to profit and not have overhead than online business.
Mm-hmm.
I know we all like to be seen. We all want to show what we have. We want to be out there. But a lot of businesses go out of business because their expenses exceed what they actually earn. And so
Mm-hmm.
I just say make sure you keep, that thought in the back of your mind. Make sure you're able to see a profit for at least 6 months to a year before
Mm-hmm.
brick and mortar. I think that's just the best solid piece of advice I can give to anybody who's thinking about going into a brick and mortar. I don't want to discourage you or anybody from doing that because
Mm-hmm.
ultimately that's everyone's goal is to get to a
Yeah.
brick and mortar. But if you can earn, like Alibaba, for instance, they're a global multi-billion dollar company and they're solely online. There's no Alibaba
Mm.
store.
True.
So I don't want people to think that they can't be successful without a brick and mortar because you can.
And an alternative to that, what I am really looking forward to is doing like vendor opportunities. Any suggestions on that, like the festivals and things like that, instead
I
of maybe going into a place?
I definitely recommend you researching not just where your local area is, and this is for anybody who has a product that they can sell. um, Not only look in your local area, but also look in areas that are nearby that so
Mm-hmm.
that you can broaden your customer base. Because so many times, so many different businesses stick to where they are locally, and
Mm-hmm.
you can get a chance to expand by going to the next city or the next state. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
you have to travel, but it's worth it to get your name out there and broaden your customer base. So I definitely recommend vendor events. I think it's a great
Mm-hmm.
way to highlight your products and services without
Mm-hmm.
spending a ton of money. Because usually they're what, $50 to $100 usually entry to be in a vendor event. And just make sure that when you do vendor events, that you this is I cannot stress this enough. Have your marketing materials ready and
Mm.
available. because
Okay.
a lot of people will come up to you not ready to buy, but they're interested in your business, but you don't have any marketing material. I just went
Mm-hmm.
to a food and wine thing, and there were a couple vendors who had great products. They had no marketing material, and I'm like, "Do you
Mm.
have a card? Do you have a something, a flyer?" She was like, "No,
Mm-hmm.
but you could take a picture of it." No,
Mm.
you should have something that customers can leave with and refer back to. Because
Be
maybe they're not,
prepared. Mm-hmm.
but they might be in a week. So make sure if you're doing vendor events, you have all of your marketing material ready to share with your customers. I can't stress that enough.
Good. It looks like you have a couple of questions here, Q. Tiana Roxy,
Oh, I didn't.
I need a millennial manager to handle social slash online. It can be so intimidating. Oh my goodness, is it? Please give her some advice because I took Q Rowland's advice. Oh my goodness, I took her
So
advice.
say this. Just let me just say this. I do a lot of my own online stuff, but never be afraid to outsource. I
Hmm.
also in addition to doing my own social media for my coaching page, I have a content creator who does my other business page.
Hmm.
One, because I just can't manage it all. Just being
Hmm.
really honest, I can't do it all. As much as I would like to be able to do everything, not to mention, I don't have the creativity lane to create all of this content to make you like me or like my
Yeah,
page.
it's a
So
lot.
so as a business owner, I would say if you find it to be overwhelming or difficult, I would say try, but it's nothing wrong with outsourcing.
Hmm.
And I think that a lot of business owners get in this thing that I can do it myself. You can make,
Hmm.
but there are a lot of things that you will save yourself so much time and energy by just paying somebody who is knowledgeable or who does have the creative space to do what you need to be done. So
Hmm.
never be afraid to outsource those things. But if I were to give you a piece of advice just to yourself, don't let it be intimidating. Show up as who you are. You will be
Hmm.
very, very much surprised at how many people who are just like you will appreciate you as you being you. You don't have to get on social media and be somebody else. You don't have to pretend. If you're not a dancer or a singer or whatever they do, don't. Show up and speak.
Hmm.
If you're afraid of being in a camera, show your products. There's so many creative ways to market you without showing your face because there are people who just are camera shy. And
Hmm.
Instagram to me has done a disservice to a lot of people because, quite frankly, content creation was a specialized field. And now they're making everybody be a content creator. But guess what? I don't want to be a content creator,
Yeah.
but I'm forced to be that. But if you feel like
Hmm.
it's too overwhelming, step back and don't do it. Find somebody
Hmm.
who will do it for you, just as long as you can afford it. And in the meantime, just post what you're comfortable posting.
Yeah, just yeah. And even a tip for that, Fiverr, Fiverr, I think that's how you spell it.
Mm-hmm.
So you can find a lot of good people on there that can do a lot of things for you. So depending on what your business niche is, like you can go on there and search specifically for that. So if I wanted a content creator for my business, I would specifically look for Crystal's content creators and then see what they have and things like that. I've done a lot of things on Fiverr and paid some inexpensive amounts and got really good quality work off of Fiverr so far. They have not let me down. Now, I did, as far as creating content, I took your advice and just started somewhere, and I was extremely nervous just showing my hands to show the products. But I did it. I had to start somewhere, and eventually I moved on up to start showing my face and making the videos. Now I know I look crazy and nervous as hell, but I just kept listening to you and like it's
You're pretty
it's
comfortable.
it's okay.
We're harder on ourselves than we need to be because when I first
That's
started doing
it. Thank
very
you. Hmm.
very nervous about it. But what I realized is when I showed up as me, the mama,
Hmm.
owner, the regular old person, people relate to that. And I found
Mhm.
that the reels that did best for me were the ones that I didn't prissy up, the ones I didn't prepare
Mhm.
for. The ones I just showed up did the best. And it's because people first always can spot authenticity. They
Yeah.
feel the realness and they can relate to that. And you will sell your product or service much easier if people can just relate. So
Yeah.
stuck in the I gotta be perfect. Because what happened is with content creation is that we feel like it's gotta look a certain way, it's gotta feel a certain way, when really just do it. Like
Just
really like
do it.
if any of you are business owners, you probably see a lot about batch creation. I don't
Mhm.
I hate batch creating. To me, that's more stressful than just posting. Batch creation forces me to now think about all these ideas at once, you know, change your clothes. Who wants to do all that? I literally save sounds that I like. I can
Mhm.
literally be down the street and a thought will pop in my head. And when I park, I record in the car right then
Mhm. Mhm.
using that
Just
sound.
do
I
it.
never really ever prepare for real. It's
Just
rare.
do it. Yeah. And
And just
so Sharice, it looked like Sharice had a question about it was way up here about hands-on experience. How do you satisfy those who want the hands-on experience and question mark festivals? And that's what I think that we were talking about too when you were talking about the vendor opportunities and things like that. I know that there's festivals, but then there are people having the pop-up shops too. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. For pop-up shops, create your own pop-up shop. You don't have
Mm-hmm.
to have a festival or a vendor event. You can create your own pop-up shop. There are a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people who lease their space for an hour or 2, 3 hours.
Mm.
Spot
Gee.
that you're comfortable with, that you think is cute or might fit your niche. Rent it out for an hour or two and
Mm.
own pop-up shop. You don't have to, and you can even ask other people if they want to join you, but you don't
Mm-hmm.
wait on other people to do you.
Oh,
You know,
that's a great idea. I never thought about that.
create
Yeah.
your own experiences, create, your own mobile experiences.
Uh-huh.
Do special, I mean, for like a crystal business, if you have something like a product type business, you can have a book an appointment with me where you use
Mm-hmm.
those appointments to go to them. So, I mean,
Hmm.
it's ways to get that interaction because you're right. Something like crystals, you might want to see that in person. You might want to
Mm-hmm.
feel it. So, those are different ways you can do product type of businesses.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Really good information. Now let's talk about you. How do you manage it all? Oh my God. Q is the busiest person
The
ever.
busiest,
Like
not on
person, not woman, just person.
just not on purpose though. Let me tell y'all. I literally don't. I have to force myself not to think about how much I do. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it's funny that you say that because everyone who knows me are like, "Oh my God, you are like so busy," and you're right. And I think I'm on autopilot most days, and I'm very exhausted most days. But I'm gonna share something with y'all that's really personal and special to me. So I grew up in a very abusive home. Okay, and I think what that did to me was made me not want to be self-reliant, like relying on, I didn't want to be like where I'm relying on other people. And I found myself overexerting as to place my energy, my discomfort, my anger. And so I'm always starting things and doing things to stay busy. And busy
Mm-hmm.
has allowed me to push some of the bad stuff away. But as I grow up and I'm older, I'm learning to deal with some of that childhood drama and trauma, trauma and trauma. But I manage it by one, I literally live by calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I do is in a calendar. I put it in my phone, but I'm still old school. I just like writing. I just feel better when I write my appointments down. So I put everything in a calendar, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Not just myself, my children's too. And so whenever they have an appointment, I also add them to the calendar invite so that it goes to a calendar for them. I'm trying to teach them how to, manage their time basically, and
Mm-hmm.
be responsible and accountable to the things that they have to do. So they get an invite. I even have my mother on my calendar because sometimes she helps me with picking up and dropping off, things like that. So basically, how I do it, I just do. One of the plans that I have for myself, a personal goal, is I'm going to start dedicating days to certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm managing several businesses, and it kind of like gets all intertwined in a day.
Mm-hmm.
Goal is to spend one day on this business, one day on this business, and another day. My other goal is to hire an assistant by the end of this year. I am at
Mm-hmm.
now in my career where I now officially need some assistance. I am no longer able to manage it by myself. And so that's a huge part about being a business owner, is realizing when you need help. Because
Yes.
oftentimes we think we can do it all, and we lose money in business
Yes.
because we come up short with our customers.
Mm-hmm.
In order to avoid that, you have to hire people when you need them. You can't
Mm.
do it all. And so, I do websites. I do my own. I do my own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same here.
Capable. I'm capable, but
Yeah.
I'm at a point where I can't anymore. So right now I'm building an online course. My content creator is designing my slides. I can't do it. I'm giving
Right.
her the layout and the outline, but she's creating it. So again, outsourcing when necessary. I think a lot of business owners, what I have encountered since 2020, is that no one wants to spend money. And to be completely honest, in order for you to grow, in order for you to scale, you are going to have to invest in your business.
Mm-hmm.
And you cannot pay yourself until all aspects of your business are set up and running smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I mean, I had a young lady. She had a shoe boutique, and she said she called. She said, "Should I be paying myself?" I said, "You don't even have a website. No, you don't have money
Mm-hmm.
when you haven't paid to get your website built. Like, no.
Mm-hmm.
So until
Yeah,
after
you got to start
that,
somewhere.
no, no,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it gets
I
real.
no, yeah, I definitely agree. Having all your ducks in a row when you get started. And
Yeah,
yeah, that's exactly why I wouldn't dare go into a brick and mortar unless there was a business plan in place and things like that. Oh, and also, I'm sure that other people will have questions about this because I know I asked you about taking that loan, that business loan, that one time. So, yeah, I had it. It was offered to me a really good amount of money, and I did. And then I got nervous about taking it. So I asked you, I said, should I take this loan?
so
And
let
what
me
did you say?
secret. A secret. It is not a secret, but I'm gonna tell you a secret. Try not to ever use your own money.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just being honest. Try not to ever use your own capital.
Mm-hmm.
Either get loan funding, grants, investments, whatever you gotta do. Use as little of your own money as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
that is because if all fails, you want to still have your money. You don't
Right.
want it gone. And I mean, these are just like insider like things that people do. People don't use their own money, so when they file bankruptcy, they're not losing nothing. They're
Right.
losing
This is
else.
true.
They're not
This is
losing.
true.
So I mean, there are times, of course, when you have to use your money, but I would say use as much of somebody else's money as possible. Now, as far as like with you, which you had your situation, if you can take a business loan, I would highly recommend it. One, it gives you the capital that you need. Two, you're building your business credit, so you're
Mm-hmm.
in your business. So I think that it can be a benefit to take a loan. Even if you don't use the loan, like I told you, you can take it, put it in an account, and let the loan pay for itself.
Right. Okay. Which is what I'm ultimately doing now.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't have to use the money. You can let
Mm-hmm.
it pay for itself, but it builds your credibility, your business.
Right.
So I've done that a couple of times, and there's a couple companies that you can do that with. I'll tell you, one is On Deck.
Mm-hmm.
Interest rate is a little higher, just for anybody who's interested. The interest rate is a little higher. You can take a loan like $1,000. Don't be confused. You don't have to do big money loans. Do a
Mm-hmm.
loan. Put that money in that account. Let them take your automatic payments. You're building business credit. If you are
Mm-hmm.
a payment processing system like Stripe or PayPal, same thing. If they offer you that loan, take it and never use it and pay the loan back.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. And that's exactly what I'm doing here to get started. I have listened to you and all of your advice so far. And
Thank you.
yesterday you told me, you made me so happy when you said that I was doing good. And what did you notice that,
I
what was
noticed.
it? Uh-huh.
I noticed. First of all, Nika doesn't think that her Instagram is good. Um, she has grown her page, I think, a couple hundred in the past week,
Mhm.
which is not common. It's not normal.
Not normal.
So she's a bit confused because I've watched it over 2 weeks. The first week I noticed you went from like I think 400 or 500 to
Hmm.
6 something. So last week, Thursday, it was Thursday because I was at a
Hmm.
meeting for the baseball thing. From then, you were in your 800s.
Mm.
You went from 6 something to 8 something in a week. That is
Mm.
amazing.
And see,
And it's,
all I'm doing is just making videos and
but
posting
like I
stuff and
told
trying to be a
her,
content creator.
so here's the other thing, right? You're educating people on what it is that you do and what you like. But like I told her, her niche is one that we all can relate to. We can all relate to health and wellness. We all want to be better. We all want to live healthier. We all want to feel better, especially as you grow older. We just look for that satisfaction of feeling better. And if you are offering those solutions, of course we want to hear about it. We want to know about it. And so you're giving us that information that helps us feel better. Because years ago somebody told me about crystals, and then she told me back then if you're ever feeling out balance, crystals will get you back right. And I didn't know about that, but now I do, and you're teaching me. And so you're not the only one learning. I'm learning too. I'm learning from you.
Aw,
You're
thank
teaching
you.
me about different stones and like we talked about the chakras and all of that stuff. And so I'm excited to learn more about it because I'm never against anything that's going to make me feel better. Like,
Right.
like,
Yeah, this is true.
you know. So I appreciate, you, and like you just outside, you're just a good person. You're a good friend,
Aw, thank you.
and I appreciate the compliment that
Thank
you give
you.
me that you think I'm worthy of assisting you in your business. I'm always humbled by that. I don't even realize a lot of times what I give to people because I don't see it myself, but I'm always humbled when you call me and ask me for advice because it means the world to me that you value my
Aw.
opinion and my thoughts. So I want to thank you, and I thank you for like doing this today and sharing, what we both do as moms because I know it's not easy. I'm juggling boys. I got two underage who one is running me all over the world because this is his recruiting year for baseball. My youngest is just turned into double digits. He's 10. I have let me see, Seat Detroit, Front Seat, B Investments, Bryland. So I'm operating 4 businesses daily, and then Coach
Mm.
Q 5. So and it's been keeping me busy, and
So there's
I'm
no
excited
shock
about
that I come to you for advice. It's
it.
not shock.
No, no. So I do want to say this to your guest. If you are wondering if you need a business coach or a consultant, because there is a difference, I do have a reel on my page about it. It's the pin reel, so you can look at it if you have time to tell you the difference between a coach and a consultant. But if you ever decide to hire a coach, you can always hire me. I'll be happy. But if you don't, whoever you decide to hire, make sure you interview them. I tell everybody, make sure you know your coach. Make sure you know about their background, what type of experience they've had. Because a lot of people on Instagram will say they're coaches, but they've never started a business. How can they
Mm,
coach you into starting a business when they've never done it? Now, I'm not saying they have to have a successful business, because even if the business failed, they've learned so much from that failure. So there's still maybe some, equipment there where they can help you. So don't ever think, well, they don't have an operating business, they don't know. That's not necessarily true. You can learn a lot from a person who has failed. Trust me.
mm. A whole
So
lot.
a whole lot. So I just want to tell you, if you think that you want to work with somebody, interview them. Make sure your personality matches theirs, because when you start talking about your business, it's very personal to you. You'll get offended by things that your coach will tell you. You won't want to believe some of the things they're going to tell you, because everything isn't going to be pleasant.
Mm.
So, make sure your personalities match, and just make sure that you and them can have a great rapport, because that's the biggest part about coaching, is being able to be coached.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, this is true.
so I
Yeah, I
just,
just sit there and listen.
I
That's,
mean, you
yeah.
know,
Mm.
and the thing is that you are, as a coach, my goal is to get you to your goals.
Mm-hmm.
So, we have a common goal. We want to get you to your goals, but you have to be ready to do the work, um, because your results are solely based on you, not your coaches.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to share with you what to do, but then you have to actually do it. So
Mm.
just keep that in mind. It's not the coach's fault if it fails. It's yours
Mm. Yeah.
working in. So
You got to
I
do the work.
gotta do the work, and it's a lot of work starting a business. So that's why I say I always applaud anybody who tries.
Well,
And
y'all hear that? Follow at I am Q Roland. It's in the chat here. Just click on the link and hit follow, and we'll be back and we'll do more of these. This was fun. We have more
it
information to
was. I'm so
give. It's
sorry
fun.
about all the mix-ups, though, y'all. I feel so
It's
guilty
okay.
about that.
I'm gonna
I
try,
don't
I'm
have stuff
gonna
like
save it. Yeah, I'll save it and then I'll be able to, I guess, send it to you or
you'll be able
post
to
it or
post.
something like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
you'll be able
Yep,
to
I'll do
post it
that.
and just tag me on it. Yeah, thank y'all for listening to my mouth. I appreciate it.
Thank
This is
you.
fun, and I'm sorry
Hi,
about
sis. Thanks. She was good. Now
all.
she's getting feisty. Now she's over me in my video now. Okay. Bye,
Tamika,
guys.
I
Uh-huh.
got one more question. Do you do personal consultations
Yes,
for?
absolutely. I do
Okay,
crystal healing sessions. So yes,
that's
I
what
do. I just
I.
haven't like, I'm at the very beginning. I just haven't started like posting all of this information and stuff. It goes on and on with the list of things that I'm doing here. But yes, definitely crystal healing sessions. And I'm about to start sending out the information sheets so that I can get you guys all signed up and we could do our own session live.
I would love to do one with you. And
Okay.
then
All right.
one last thing, y'all. I have a Start Biz checklist on my website. It's a free download. It's QRoland.com. It's QUE Roland.com. So if you're like confused about where to start, it's just a free download checklist. You can click it, download it, and go through the list. If you have any questions about where to start or how to do anything, it'll give you a full outline. So that's
And
it.
I'll put that on the post too when I
Okay.
save and share it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you
Thank you.
everybody for watching. We'll see you again soon. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
How do I end this?